Well, good afternoon, everyone. We couldn't ask for a better day than today to celebrate this great occasion. So we would like to welcome our staff, students, community, and business partners here today. It is my great pleasure to kick off today's reconstruction ceremony for Norwood Middle School, this Grand Lady of Sherman. I would like to recognize several of our honored guests in attendance today. John Peter, our Facility Maintenance Director, Dave Rager, and we have representatives from SHP, Ron Hicks, Vice President of Operations, Todd Thackeray, Vice President of Architecture. We also have representatives from Monarch, the lead construction firm on this job. Tom Butler, President, Marty Meisberger, Lead Estimator, Bill Kramer, Norwood Police Chief, and we also have Mayor Williams. Lastly, our very own Norwood Superintendent, Dr. Kathy Sabo, has a few words regarding building improvements.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you, Mr. Miller. So back in 2016 it was, the great people of Norwood voted to pass a bond levy. And it's with these funds that we're able to do all of the great things here at Norwood Schools with regard to our physical buildings. So behind me, you know, this building was formerly called our Norwood High School, and for many, many people it served as a high school, and for us now it serves as our middle school. As we looked about improving our building behind us, we have already done a bit of work. We've worked on a couple of the roofs, and we, of course, taken a really close look at all of the cement between each brick, and that has been repaired. This building behind me, we do often call our Grand Lady on Sherman Avenue, and we love her dearly. And Norwood is pleased to be working with a Norwood construction company that's also located right here on Sherman Avenue, called Monarch. We're excited about our improvements. Let me name for you some of the improvements that you are going to see in the months ahead. We're going to continue our work with new roofs. You'll have all new plumbing, updated restrooms, all new interior painting, interior locks on the doors, new lockers, new lighting, new paint, a new elevator, new technology, new heat, and the thing you've been waiting for the longest, air conditioning. It's okay if you scream and yell and are happy about that. The construction will take place in multiple phases over this next year, and at this point, from the ground to the third floor in the west wing, that space is entirely empty and it's ready for Monarch Improvements to begin their construction. And we couldn't be more pleased that Monarch is the construction company that is leading this work. We want all of you to know that there are many memories held inside this building, and we honor those. We also want you to know that we are going to work really hard to use that money, use it wisely, but to make the much needed improvements to this amazing building. So to kick off our official construction project is a Norwood graduate and the mayor of Norwood, our very own Mayor Tom Williams.
I truly love this old building. 1954 through 58. I truly love this old building, and I'm thankful for your work. With the power vested in me as the mayor of this great city, and with the great support of the Norwood Public Schools, I now proclaim the reconstruction of this building underway. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Williams. There is one thing that we want to do, and it was a few years ago, back when we celebrated our centennial, that our very own dentist up the street wrote a very special poem called Our Grand Lady on Sherman Avenue. We have Olivia Perry. She is going to read that poem for us. Olivia, are you here? Come on up.
The Grand Lady of Sherman Avenue. I took a slow walk around our old high school to look deeply into her soul and see what kind of vibrations I could feel as I looked at her carefully for the first time in 70 years. I was amazed at the classic beauty of the building itself, The sunlight glistened off the rookwood tiles that encircled her just below the bricks in her crown. Bas-relief Gothic goddesses were the sentinels standing, watching over the ramparts of the various entrances. The main stairway was wide and inviting, as if welcoming to all. But then a voice seemed to say to me, "Enter here at your own peril, for those who do will be forever changed." I remember that we met a Mr. Shakespeare who would teach us that the evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. Later we would be reading about the campaigns of Caesar in Latin. In physics class we would be introduced to Isaac Newton. Then in math we would be introduced to an invention of his, a form of mathematics called calculus. My mind was racing a mile a minute as I realized how all of this classical form of education was integrated together to give the students a foundation to equip them to enter the world and be ready to become part of society. And oh, how the students of Norwood High School assimilated into this world. We've had more than our share of doctors, lawyers, and other professional people. We've had pro athletes, movie stars, politicians, and educators at all levels. We've had artists, musicians, and theologians. Soldiers from Norwood High School have bled on the beaches of the islands of the Pacific, the coasts, mountains, and the plains of Europe, the cold mountains of Korea, the waters, swamps, and the highlands of Vietnam, and every military engagement right up to the present day. We've had captains of ships, aircraft pilots, tank commanders, and every other job required by those who would answer the call of their country. It was as if the building was trying to relay some deeper meaning to me, as if in some symbolic way it was saying, "I'm not alive, but I give life." Each of my bricks were taken separately have no meaning, but stacked together they provide an environment that gives purpose to chance. I walked away with a deeper respect and an affection for my alma mater. May the Grand Lady of Sherman Avenue stand for another 100 years and touch and bless the lives of countless future generations. Dr. William R. Wallace, Norwood High School, class of 1962.
Thank you, Olivia. That was fantastic. So you too will go on and make your impression upon this Grand Lady of Sherman Avenue, and even into adulthood. We are working to make sure that this building still stands strong and serves our students as best it possibly can. So with all these great folks behind me, and I see we have a Historical Society representative, Mr. Rodney Rogers, has joined us also. All of these good folks are promising to you that we're going to work really hard, even those beeping going by, that we make sure we provide you with the absolute best education and in the best place to learn, which is right here in Norwood. So, thank you, and can't think of a better way for us to end our Reconstruction ceremony by our very own Norwood High School Band.
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bauer. So all of you in the audience, we'd like for you to come and join us right here on the steps. We want to take a great photo. This is a day to remember. So those of you closest, just come right up here and stand. And of course, those of you on the steps below, please take a spot. Mr. Robinson, even your group can join us. And I see a few community members. You're welcome to join us too. We're glad you're here. We might ask you to step down one step. Just step down one step. Perfect. We gotta make sure we see her.
Because you got a short man.
Stacy, if you have to tell us to do something or let us know. Papers behind your back. That's our Director of Curriculum, Mrs. Chesson. Mrs. Chesson, you should be in this photo also, as well as our Director of Special Education, Mrs. Eschman. You should be with us. Oh, Miss Robinson, you should be here with us. Miss Wiseman, yep, calling you out. Okay, Monarch, the building is yours. Let the construction begin.
All right. Score order, let's go on in.